Harper Audio presents Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli, performed by Shannon Purser. 1. I don't mean to be dramatic, but God save me from Morgan picking our set list. That girl is a suburban dad's midlife crisis in a high school senior's body. Case in point. She's kneeling on the floor, using the keyboard stool as a desk, and every title on her list is a mediocre classic rock song. I'm a very tolerant person, but as an American, a musician, and a self-respecting human being, it is both my duty and my privilege to blanket veto that shit. I lean forward on my stool to peer over her shoulder. No Bon Jovi, no Journey. Wait, seriously? Says Morgan. People love Don't Stop Believin'. People love meth. Should we start doing meth? Anna raises her eyebrows. Leah, did I just compare Don't Stop Believin' to meth? I shrug. Why, yes. Yes, I did. Anna and Morgan exchange a capital L look. It's a look that says, here we go, she's about to dig her heels in. I'm just saying, the song is a mess. The lyrics are bullshit. I give a little tap on the snare for emphasis. I like the lyrics, Anna says. They're hopeful. It's not about whether they're hopeful. It's about the gross implausibility of a midnight train going, quote unquote, anywhere. They exchange another look, this time with tiny shrugs. Translation? She has a point. Translation of the translation. Leah Catherine Burke is an actual genius, and we should never ever doubt her music taste. I guess we shouldn't add anything new until Taylor and Nora are back, Morgan concedes. And she's right. School musical rehearsals have kept Taylor and Nora out of commission since January. And even though the rest of us have been meeting a few times a week, it sucks rehearsing without your singer and lead guitarist. Okay, Anna says. Then I guess we're done here? Done with rehearsal? Welp. I guess I should have shut up about Journey. Like, I get it, I'm white, I'm supposed to love shitty classic rock. But I kind of thought we were all enjoying this lively debate about music and meth. Maybe it went off the rails somewhere, though, because now Morgan's putting the keyboard away and Anna's texting her mom to pick her up. I guess that's game over. My mom won't be here for another 20 minutes, so I hang around the music room even after they leave. I don't really mind. It's actually nice to drum alone. I let my sticks take the lead from the bass to the snare and again. Some fills on the toms, some ch-ch-ch on the hi-hat, and then the crash, 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 and another. I don't even hear my phone buzzing until it pings with a voicemail. It's obviously my mom. She always calls, only texts as a last resort. You'd think she was 50 or a million years old, but she's 35. I'm 18. Go ahead and do the math. I'm basically your resident fat Slytherin Rory Gilmore. I don't listen to the voicemail because Mom always texts me after. And sure enough, a moment later. So sorry to do this, sweetie. I'm swamped here. Can you catch the bus today? Sure, I write back. You're the best. Kissy emoji. Mom's boss is an unstoppable robot workaholic lawyer. So this happens a lot. It's either that or she's on a date. It's not even funny having a mom who gets more action than I do. Right now she's seeing some guy named Wells. Like the plural of well. He's bald and rich with tiny little ears, and I think he's almost 50. I met him once for 30 minutes, and he made 6 puns and said, oh fudge, twice. Anyway, I used to have a car, so it didn't matter as much. If I beat Mom home, I just let myself in through the garage. But Mom's car died last summer, so my car became her car, which means I get to ride home with 35 freshmen. Not that I'm bitter. We're supposed to clear out of the music room by 5, so I take apart the kit and carry it into the storage closet, drum by drum. I'm the only one who uses the school kit. Everyone else who plays has their own set in the finished basements of their personal mansions. My friend Nick has a customizable Yamaha DTX 450K E-kit, and he doesn't even drum. I could never afford that in a billion years. But that's Shady Creek. The late bus doesn't leave for another half hour, so I guess I'll be a theater groupie. No one ever cares if I wander into a rehearsal, even though the show opens on Friday. Honestly, I crash rehearsals so often, I think people forget I'm not in the play. Most of my friends are. Even Nick, who'd never auditioned for anything in his life until this. I'm pretty sure he only did it to spend time with his sickeningly adorable girlfriend. But since he's a true legend, he managed to snag the lead role. I take the side hallway that leads directly backstage and slip through the door. Naturally, the first person I see is the Peanut himself, my #1 bro, demolisher of Oreos, Simon Spear. Leah! He's standing in the wings, half in costume, surrounded by dudes. No clue how Miss Albright talked so many guys into auditioning this year. Simon shrugs away from them. You're just in time for my song. I planned that. You did? No. I hate you. He elbows me and then hugs me. No, I love you. I don't blame you. I can't believe you're about to hear me sing. I grin. The hype is real. Then there's a whispered command I can't quite hear, and the boys line up in the wings, amped and ready. Honestly, I can't even look at them without laughing. The play is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and all of Joseph's brothers are wearing these fluffy fake beards. I don't know, maybe it's in the costume notes of the Bible or something. Don't wish me luck, Simon says. Tell me to break a leg. Simon, you should probably get out there. Okay, but listen, don't take the bus. We're going to Waffle House after this. Noted. The boys shuffle on stage, and I step deeper into the wings. Now that the flock has cleared, I can see Cal Price, the stage manager, stationed at a desk between the curtains. Hey, Red. That's what he calls me, even though I'm barely a redhead. It's fine, Cal's a cinnamon roll, but every time he does it, there's this hiccup in my chest. My dad used to call me Red, back when he used to call me. Have you seen this one? Cal asks, and I shake my head. He nudges his chin toward the stage, smiling, so I take a few steps forward. The boys are lurching. I don't know any other way to describe it. The choir teacher bangs out some French-sounding song on the piano, and Simon steps forward, hand on his heart. Do you remember the good years in Canaan? His voice is shaking, just a little, and his French accent's a disaster. But he was funny as hell up there, sinking to his knees, grasping his head, moaning, and I don't want to oversell it or anything, but this just may be the most iconic performance of all time. Nora sidles up to me. Guess how many times I've heard him sing this in his bedroom. Please tell me he has no idea you can hear him. He has no idea I can hear him. Sorry, Simon, but you're too precious. If you weren't gay and taken, I'd totally marry you. And let's be honest, marrying Simon would be amazing. And not just because I had a sad, secret crush on him for most of middle school. It's more than that. For one thing, I'm totally up for being a Spear, because that family is literally perfect. I get Nora as my sister-in-law, plus an awesome older sister in college. And the Spears live in this huge, gorgeous house that doesn't have clothes and clutter on every surface. I even love their dog. The song ends, and I slip out and around to the back row of the auditorium, known among theater kids, aspirationally, as Makeout Alley. But I'm all alone back here, and only halfway participating, surveying the action from across the room. I've never been in a play, even though Mom's always trying to get me to audition. But here's the thing. You can spend years drawing shitty fan art and sketch pads, and no one has to see it. You can drum alone in the music room until you're decent enough for live shows. But with acting, you don't really get to spend years stumbling along in private. You have an audience even before there's an audience. A swell of music. Abby Suso steps forward, wearing a giant beaded collar and an Elvis wig. And she's singing. She's amazing, of course. She doesn't have one of those limitless voices like Nick or Taylor, but she can carry a tune, and she's funny. That's the thing. She's a straight-up goofball on stage. At one point, Miss Albright actually guffaws. Which is saying something. Not just because who knew guffawing was an actual thing people did, but because you know Miss Albright has seen this thing 1,000 times already. Abby's just that good. Even I can't take my eyes off her. When the show ends, Ms. Albright herds the cast on stage for notes. Everyone drapes themselves all over the platforms, but Simon and Nick scoot to the end of the stage, next to Abby. Of course. Nick slides his arm around her shoulders, and she tucks up closer to him. Also, of course. There's no Wi-Fi in here, so I'm stuck listening to Ms. Albright's notes, followed by an unsolicited 10-minute monologue from Taylor Metternich about losing yourself and becoming your character. I have a theory that Taylor literally gets off on the sound of her own voice. I'm pretty sure she's having tiny secret orgasms right before our eyes. Ms. Albright finally shuts it down, and everyone streams out of the auditorium, grabbing backpacks on the way. But Simon, Nick, and Abby wait in a cluster near the orchestra pit. I stand and stretch and head down the aisle to meet them. And a part of me wants to spew praise all over them. But something stops me. Maybe it's just too painfully sincere, a little too fifth grade Leah. Not to mention that the thought of fangirling over Abby Suso makes me want to vomit. I high-five Simon. You killed it. I didn't even know you were here, Abby says. Hard to know what she means by that. Maybe it's a secret diss. Like, why are you even here, Leah? Or maybe, I didn't even notice you, you're so irrelevant. But maybe I'm overthinking this. I've been known to do that when it comes to Abby. I nod. I heard you guys were going to Waffle House? Yeah, I think we're just waiting for Nora. Martin Addison walks by. Hey, Simeon, he says. Hey, Ruben, says Simon, looking up from his phone. Those are their characters' names. And yes, Simon plays a guy named Simeon, because I guess Ms. Albright couldn't resist. Ruben and Simeon are two of Joseph's brothers, and I'm sure this would all be adorable if it didn't involve Martin Addison. Martin keeps walking, and Abby's eyes flash. Honestly, it's pretty hard to piss Abby off, but Martin does it just by existing. And by going out of his way to talk to Simon, like last year didn't happen. It's so fucking audacious. Simon doesn't even talk to Martin that much, but I hate that he does it all. Not that I get to dictate who Simon talks to, but I know, I can just tell that it bugs Abby as much as it bugs me. Simon turns back to his phone, clearly texting Bram. They've been dating for a little over a year, and they're one of those vomitously happy couples. I don't mean that in the PDA sense. They actually barely touch each other in school, probably because people are prehistoric dickwads about gay stuff. But Simon and Bram text and I fuck all day long. Like they can't even go 5 minutes without contact. To be totally honest, it's hard not to be jealous. It's not even just about the true love, hard eyes, get a room dudes fairy tale magic. It's the fact that they went for it. They had the balls to say, fuck this, fuck Georgia, fuck all of you homophobic assholes. Are Bram and Garrett meeting us there? Abby asks. Yup, they just got out of soccer. Simon smiles. I end up in Simon's passenger seat with Nora in the back, digging through her backpack. She's wearing rolled-up jeans, covered in paint, and her curls are tied back in a messy knot. One ear is pierced all the way to the top, and she has a tiny blue nose stud she got last summer. That girl is honestly too adorable. I love how much she looks like Simon, and I love that they both look like their older sister. They're a total copy-paste family. Finally, Nora's hand emerges from her backpack, holding a giant, unopened bag of M&Ms. I'm starving. We're literally driving to Waffle House. Right now, Simon says, but he stretches his hand back to take some. I take a handful, and they're perfectly melted, which is to say they're not quite melted, just a little soft on the inside. So, it wasn't too much of a shit show, right? Simon asks. The play? He nods. Not at all. It was awesome. Yeah, but people are still messing up their lines, and we open on Friday. And freaking Potiphar screwed up a whole song today. God, I need a waffle. I pull out my phone and check Snapchat. Abby's posted this epically long story from rehearsal, and it's like a montage from a rom-com. A snap of Nick and Taylor singing on stage, a mega close-up selfie of Abby and Simon. An even closer one of Simon's face where his nostrils look so big, Abby stuck a panda graphic inside one of them. And Abby and Nick, over and over. I stick my phone back in my pocket. Simon turns onto Mount Vernon Highway. I feel antsy and strange, like I'm bothered by something, but I can't remember what. It's like a tiny pinprick in the back of my mind. I can't figure out what song you're doing, Nora says. It takes me a moment to realize she's talking to me, and a moment after that to realize I've been drumming on the glove compartment. Huh, I have no idea. It's like this, Nora says, tapping a straight 1-2 beat on the back of my seat. Boom tap, boom tap. All eighth notes, quick and even. My mind fills in the rest of it immediately. It's Don't Stop Believin'. My brain is an asshole. 2. There are a ton of cars I recognize from school in the Waffle House parking lot. Simon turns off the ignition and glances at his phone. The first thing I see when I step outside the car is Taylor's bright blonde head. Leah, I had no idea you were coming. I totally thought it was just theater people, but yay! She presses her key and our car beeps twice. Kind of funny, I don't remember Taylor having a Jeep. Especially not one with testicles dangling from the bumper. Your car has very realistic balls, Taylor. So embarrassing, right? She falls into step beside me. My brother's home for spring break, and he blocked my car in. I had to take his. Oh, nuts. That's the worst. Yeah, he's really testing my patience, she replies. And, okay, I'll be the first to admit, sometimes I fucking love Taylor. She holds the door open, and I follow Simon and Nora inside. I really love the smell of Waffle House. It's this perfect combination of butter, maple syrup, bacon, and maybe onions? Whatever it is, they should bottle it up and pour it into a scented marker, so I can draw hot manga characters who smell like Wahoo. Right away, I spot a bunch of theater people sitting in the corner, including Martin Addison. I'm not sitting there. I turn to Nora. She nods shortly. Agreed. Because of Martin? Taylor asks. Let's just sit over here, I say, pressing my lips together. I mean, the stuff with Martin happened a long time ago, and maybe I should let it go. But I can't. I honestly can't. This kid literally outed Simon last year. Actually, he found out Simon was gay, blackmailed him, and then fucking outed him. I've barely said a word to him since, and neither has Nora. Or Bram. Or Abby. I settle in next to Nora in a booth near the entrance, and Taylor scoots into the seat Simon was clearly saving for Bram. When the waitress shows up for a first round of orders, everyone but me orders waffles. All I want is a Coke. Are you on a diet? Taylor asks. Excuse me? Seriously, who says that? First of all, I just ate 20 shit tons of M&Ms. Second of all, shut the fuck up. I swear, people can't wrap their minds around the concept of a fat girl who doesn't diet. Is it that hard to believe I might actually like my body? Nora nudges me and asks if I'm okay. Maybe I look kind of surly. Oh my god, are you sick? Asks Taylor. No. I'm like super paranoid I'm going to catch something. I've been drinking so much tea, and I'm resting my voice whenever I'm not in rehearsal, obviously. Can you imagine if I lost my voice this week? I don't even know what Ms. Albright would do. Right. Like, I'm in almost every song. She does this weird, high-pitched laugh. I can't tell if she's nervous and pretending not to be, or the other way around. Maybe you should rest your voice, I suggest. I swear she's more manageable when we're rehearsing with the band. Also, I have really good isolation headphones. Taylor opens her mouth to reply to me, but then Abby and the guys arrive all at once. Garrett scoots in beside me, and Bram slides next to Taylor, with Abby and Nick on the ends. And it's funny, because Taylor's been sitting here with her usual runway in Paris posture, but now she's leaning so hard toward Nick, she's practically sprawled over the table. Hey, I hear you and Simon will be in Boston for spring break. Taylor, you've been mashed up against Simon's body in a booth for 20 minutes. But, of course, you couldn't ask that question until Nick got here. Yep, Nick says. We're doing the last set of school visits, Tufts and BU first, then Wesleyan, NYU, Haverford, and Swarthmore. So we're flying into Boston, renting a car, and then flying out of Philly. Road trip, says Simon, leaning forward for a high five. With your moms, says Abby. I can't even get my head around how much people are willing to spend on this stuff. There are the plane tickets, hotels, car rentals, everything. And they don't even know if they've gotten into these schools yet. Not to mention the fact that Simon spent hundreds of dollars on application fees alone, even though he's dead set on NYU. Which I'm sure has nothing to do with Bram's early acceptance to Columbia. That is so awesome, Taylor beams. I'll be in Cambridge visiting Harvard. We should meet up. Yeah, maybe, Nick says. Simon almost chokes on his water. Abby, are you looking at the Northeast too? Taylor asks. Nope, Abby smiles. I'm going to Georgia. You're not trying to be near Nick? Can't afford to be near Nick. Kind of weird to hear her say that out loud. Especially because I'm going to the exact same school for the exact same reason. The University of Georgia is the only place I applied. They accepted me months ago. I qualify for the Zell Miller Scholarship. It's a done deal. But I never know how to feel when I have a thing in common with Abby Suso. I especially don't know how to feel about the fact that we're going to the same school. I bet she'll pretend she doesn't know me. So then Garrett gets going about Georgia Tech's superiority to Georgia. I don't even care, but I guess it's good that Morgan's not here. It's funny. Morgan's such a little social justice geek that you wouldn't expect this, but she's actually from one of those hardcore UGA families. All football, all the time. The whole house is decorated red and black, with bulldog faces on everything, and the Hirsches always tailgate before games. I'll never understand the whole football scene. Like, no shade on football, but I'm kind of more focused on the school part of college. I want to zone out, but Garrett keeps baiting me. Okay, here's one. Leah, what are the longest 3 years of a UGA student's life? I give up. Her freshman year. Ha ha. Garrett Laughlin. Every day. Eventually, everyone starts talking about Bram and Garrett's soccer game last weekend. Nick looks a little wistful, and I really do get it. It's not that he'll never play soccer again. He'll be back on the field as soon as the play wraps up next week. But it sucks when life moves along without you. Sometimes I feel left out even when life's moving along with me. The waitress swings by again to take the second round of orders, and within 20 minutes, we've got a mountain of food. Simon's gone off on a rant about the play, so I steal a piece of bacon from his plate when he's distracted. And I just have this sinking feeling it's all going to fall apart now that we finally have the orchestra and the sets. Like, sorry, but the sets should have been done a week ago. Nora gives Simon the stink eye. Maybe they would be if anyone actually worked on them other than Cal and me. Burn, says Garrett. But at the end of the day, says Taylor, the sets don't even matter. It's all about the acting. Nora sighs, smiling tightly. We linger over our plates for a bit, and then the waitress brings us all separate checks. Pretty awesome of her. I hate combined checks because someone always wants to split the bill evenly. And I don't want to be a jerk, but there's a reason I didn't order that $20 sandwich. We take turns walking up to the cashier to pay, and then we stack our tips in a pile on the table. And of course, Garrett, who ordered scattered, smothered, and covered waffles with sausage and hash browns, leaves literally $1. I don't get that. Leave a fucking real tip. I throw an extra couple of dollars down myself to make up for it. Pretty big tip for a Coke, Abby says, and I bite back a smile. The others are making their way to the door, but she hangs back, buttoning her pea coat. My mom used to be a waitress. Well, it's just really nice of you. I shrug and smile, but my lips feel stretchy. I'm always weird around Abby. I guess I just have issues with her. For one thing, I can't stand people who are that pretty. She's got these Disney eyes and dark brown skin and wavy dark hair and actual cheekbones. And she has the opposite of a resting bitch face. Basically, Abby is human candy corn. She's fine in small doses, but too much and you'll puke from the sweetness. She gives me this half smile, and we both step outside. Taylor and her ball sack are gone, and Garrett's already left for a piano lesson. Everyone else is just standing around. Simon and Bram are holding hands, sort of, but only the tips of their fingers are laced together, which is about as hot as it gets for the two of them in public. Nick, on the other hand, wraps his arms around Abby, like he has to make up for the hour spent on opposite sides of a booth. Typical. So I guess we're doing the whole lovesick couples in front of Waffle House thing. Maybe Nora and I should make out now, just to stay relevant. But Abby disentangles from Nick and walks toward me. That's really beautiful, she says, pointing at my phone case. It's actually one of my manga sketches. Anna surprised me with it for my birthday this year. You drew that, right? Yeah, I swallow. Thanks, Abby. Her eyes widen just barely, like I threw her off somehow just by saying her name. I guess we don't talk a lot. Not outside of group stuff. Not anymore. She blinks and then nods. So, hey, the University of Georgia is a school. Yes. She laughs, and suddenly she's all doe eyes and hesitation. I kind of wanted to ask you. A horn honks, and we both look up. I recognize Abby's car, or Abby's mom's car, I guess. But today the driver is a boy with the most gorgeous cheekbones I've ever seen. Wide eyes, brown skin, maybe early 20s. Oh my God, my brother's home! He wasn't supposed to get in until tonight. Abby grins, touching my arm briefly. Okay, hold that thought. We'll touch base tomorrow. A moment later, she's kissing Nick goodbye. I look away quickly, squinting up at the sun. 3. I text Mom, who says she'll pick me up at Waffle House on her way home. Soon everyone's gone but Bram, who scoots in beside me on the curb. I smile at him. You don't have to wait with me. Oh, I'm not. My dad's in town, so he's picking me up. Bram's parents are divorced, which I find weirdly comforting. I don't mean that in a bitchy way. I don't want Bram to have a shitty home life or anything. It's just that most of my friends have these storybook perfect families. Sitcom families. Married parents in giant houses, with framed family portraits lining the staircases. I guess it's nice not being the only one missing that. Just for a visit? Bram nods. He and my stepmom came up for the week with Caleb. We're getting ice cream after this. I can't believe Caleb's big enough for ice cream. Wasn't he just born? I know, right? He'll be 1 in June. Unreal. Bram smiles. Want to see him? He's my lock screen. He hands me his phone and I tap the screen on. Okay, this is too adorable. It's a selfie of Bram and Caleb, smiling with their faces smushed together. And it's the cutest photo ever taken. Bram's dad is white, and I guess his stepmom must be too, because Caleb's the palest little white baby I've ever seen. Somehow it surprises me every time I see a picture of him. He's totally bald, too, with giant brown eyes. But it's funny because Bram and Caleb look weirdly alike, even though Bram's skin is brown and he has hair and doesn't drool. It's kind of wild. Bram sticks his phone in his pocket and leans back on his hands, and I feel this wave of unexpected shyness. It occurs to me, suddenly, that this may actually be the first time Bram and I have hung out one-on-one, even though he moved here after freshman year. He was always in the background for me until he started dating Simon. To be honest, I kind of lumped him together with Garrett. I try to beat back the awkwardness. Want to see something? I ask. Sure, he sits up. Okay, brace yourself. I tap into my photos and scroll back through my albums. Then I pass Bram the phone. His hand flies to his mouth. Amazing, right? Bram nods slowly. Oh my God. So, this is 7th grade. I know. Simon was too cute, right? Bram stares at the photo, eyes crinkling around the edges, and something about his expression makes my heart twist. I mean, he's so far gone. This kid is in it with his whole entire heart. The picture is actually of all 3 of us, Simon, Nick, and me. I think we were at Morgan's bat mitzvah. I'm wearing this light blue dress, kind of an Eliza Hamilton vibe. I'm holding an inflatable saxophone, smiling, and Nick's wearing oversized sunglasses. But the star of the picture is Simon. My God. For one thing, there's that glow-in-the-dark tie Simon used to wear to every bar mitzvah and dance. But this time, he's wearing it around his head like Rambo, cheesing for the camera. Also, he's fucking tiny. I don't know how I forgot that. He grew a few inches in 8th grade, and that's about when he started listening to good music and not wearing those giant wolf-faced t-shirts. Like, I'm pretty sure he stripped off that final wolf shirt one day, and then Bram moved to Shady Creek 2 hours later. You've never seen his baby pictures? I ask. I've seen the little kid ones, but he's got middle school locked down. What you're telling me is that Simon should have never left us alone together. Exactly. He grins, tapping into his text messages. Moments later, our phones buzz simultaneously. You showed him the tie? Leah, what have you done? It was a dapper tie, Bram writes. Well, I was a dapper young man. But still! Should I tell Bram about the nightlight? I type. Bram smiles. The nightlight? It was an alarm clock. It just happened to have a light. It was a nightlight. I grin at Bram. It had a little crescent moon and a mouse on it. He probably still has it. That is really cute and not at all surprising. Right? He kept it by his bed until 8th grade. Bram laughs. Then he types something, taps send, and scoots his feet back to the curb. Except the message never appears. So it's a private text to Simon. To his boyfriend. Totally allowed. And I probably shouldn't feel like I've been voted off some island. Mom pulls up to the curb a few minutes later, rolling down the window and waving. That's your mom? Bram asks. Wow, she's really pretty. Yeah, I hear that a lot. No joke. Simon once called her the quintessential sexy mom. Are you sure you don't want us to wait with you? I ask. Oh, no, my dad will be here any second. My mom leans out the window. Hi, you're Bram, right? The soccer player? Bram looks taken aback. Oh, yes. And you're going to Columbia. God, she always does this. She whips out these little snippets of random information just to show off what an involved mom she is. My friends probably think I go home and quiz her about them with flashcards. I mean, I do sort of tell my mom everything. To a degree that's almost pathological. I keep her posted on all the Tumblr gossip, and I tell her about most of my crushes. And of course, I told my mom I'm bisexual, even though none of my friends know. I came out to her when I was 11, during a commercial break for Celebrity Rehab. Anyway, either Bram is a saint, or he's hardcore sucking up to Mom. He calls her Miss Keen, which is actually pretty impressive. No one ever remembers that my mom and I have different last names. My mom laughs. You are so sweet. Seriously, call me Jessica. I can already predict our conversation for the ride home. Oh God, Lee, he's totally adorable. Simon must be head over heels. What a cutie pie, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm lucky. You always hear about parents who disapprove of their kids' friends, and my mom's the exact opposite. She adores every single friend I've ever introduced. She even loved Martin Addison the few times she met him. And, of course, my friends are totally charmed by her. Case in point, by the time I click my seatbelt, Bram's already invited Mom to the opening night of the play. Because that's not weird. I still think you should have auditioned, Lee, Mom says as we pull onto the main road. Joseph is the bomb. Don't say the bomb. Joseph is the blizz. I won't even dignify it with a response. 4. This came for you, Mom says, handing me an envelope as soon as I come down for breakfast on Thursday. It's from the University of Georgia. The return address is printed with their logo. It's not a big envelope like my admissions packet, just a random letter-sized envelope, the perfect size for a letter from the dean retracting my scholarship and reversing my acceptance. We are writing to notify you that your acceptance to the University of Georgia Honors Program was, in fact, a clerical error. Our records show that our department intended to admit some other Leah Burke, who isn't a steaming hot mess. We apologize for any inconvenience. Are you going to open it? Mom asks, leaning against the counter. She's wearing eye makeup, like she does for work sometimes, and she looks obnoxiously beautiful. Her eyes look electric green. I should say, for the record, that having a mother who's hotter than you sucks balls. I take a deep breath and open it. Mom peers at me while I read. Everything okay? Yeah, totally. I feel myself relax. It's just a bunch of info about tours and accepted student stay. We should probably do that, huh? Doesn't matter. I mean, it can't matter, because my mom isn't Simon's mom or Nick's mom. She can't randomly take off work for a campus visit. I can't even picture my mom on one of those tours. I've never actually been on one, but Simon says it's just a flock of mortified kids cringing while their parents ask questions. Apparently, Simon's dad asked the tour guide at Duke to please elaborate on the campus gay scene. I wanted to fucking die, Simon told me. Pretty sure if my mom were on that tour, she'd be snickering in the back, rolling her eyes at all the other parents. She'd probably get hit on by frat dudes, too. Seriously, it's fine. She smiles. I really do think you should sign up for this, though. Let me just sort things out with work, and we can make a whole day of it. And, actually, Wells has family in Athens, so... I laugh incredulously. I'm not doing my college tour with Wells. She flicks my arm. We can discuss this later. Do you want a yogurt? Yeah, I scraped my hair back. Anyway, I'll just see when Morgan's going. I can pretend to be a Hirsch. That's an idea, Mom says. And you could wear a tech jersey to mess with them. Totally, Mom. I'll be so popular on campus. My phone buzzes with a text from Simon. Fuck my life, Leah. Oh God. Okay, I better go, Mom says, setting my yogurt down. Have fun today. I say goodbye to her and turn back to my phone. I can't fuck your life. I'm monogamously fucking my own life. Okay, that's funny, Simon writes. But seriously, what happened? 3 dots. And then, my voice keeps cracking. What? When I sing. That's really cute. Emoji with heart eyes. I take a bite of yogurt. Leah, it's not cute. It's almost opening night. The school performances are like right now. I think you're nervous. You're nervous. You are. Holy shit, I can't believe I just did that. And I capitalized it. Ugh, don't tell Bram. Ah, fuck, I'm done. Simon, you're okay. I throw away my yogurt cup and toss my spoon into the sink. 8:15. Time to get to the bus stop. Even though it's mega cold. Even though my texting fingers are going to hate me. Also, he's never heard me sing and he's going to break up with me. I laugh. Bram's going to break up with you when he hears you sing? Yes, Simon writes. I can picture him, pacing backstage, costume half assembled. The school performances are technically dress rehearsals, but everyone misses class to watch them. Seniors don't even have to check into first period. I want to get there early to claim a seat in the front, where I can heckle Simon and Nick. But naturally my bus is late. It happens every time it's cold out. He really hasn't heard you sing? I write. I don't sing. And, without missing a beat, he adds, but seriously, what if my voice cracks and everyone throws tomatoes, and then they pull me off the stage with an old-timey hook? If that happens, I write, I will film it. Nora's waiting for me when I step off the bus. Thank God you're here. What are you doing right now? She rakes a hand through her curls. I've honestly never seen her look so freaked out. And that includes the time classy 11-year-old Simon molded brownies to look like actual shit, and then proudly ate them in front of us. I look at her. What's going on? Martin Addison has a cold, she says slowly, blinking like she can't quite believe it. Noted. I won't make out with him. I don't even think she hears me. So he's staying home to rest his voice for tomorrow, but now we don't have a Reuben, and we're supposed to start, like, now. So I was wondering... I can't play Reuben. Right. She presses her lips together. I'm the worst singer, Nora. You know that. Yeah, I know. I'm not... Ugh. She laughs nervously. Cal's filling in for Martin, so now I'm Cal, and I need you to be me. To be you? Assistant stage manager. Oh. I pause. What does that mean? She starts walking, briskly, which is so unlike her. I have to hop to catch up. Okay, well, I'm going to be on headset calling the cues, she says, so I need you to keep track of the actors and make sure everyone's where they need to be, and help flip the sets, and just basically put out fires. You can do that, right? Just yell at people. You'll be good at it. What's that supposed to mean? But, she stops short, appraising me. Crap. Do you have anything black to wear? Or navy? Like a hoodie or something? Not with me. I look down, taking in my outfit. Mint green sundress, dark green cardigan, gray tights, and my gold combat boots. I mean, what else was I going to wear on St. Patrick's Day? Okay. Nora rubs her cheek. Okay, I'll find something. Just head backstage for now, and somebody will set you up. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I'm not sure I did agree to do this. But Nora shoots off down the hallway again, and suddenly I'm standing outside the backstage door. So, assistant stage manager. I guess this is happening. I slip backstage, and it's total chaos. I don't know, maybe Cal's secretly a hardcore strict mega bitch, because apparently shit falls apart when he's off duty. There are freshmen battling with shepherd's crooks from the prop table, which, I'm not going to lie, look exactly like the old-timey hooks from Simon's Nightmares. 2 hairy Ishmaelites are making out between the curtains, and Taylor's sitting on the floor with her eyes closed. I think she might be meditating. I peek through the curtains, and it's a sea of bleary-eyed freshmen and seniors. Right away, I see my squad in the front row. Bram, Garrett, Morgan, and Anna. And an empty seat in the middle, clearly mine. I feel weirdly touched by that. Hey, Nora appears, handing me an armload of fabric. This is Garrett's, so it should cover most of your dress. Sorry if it smells. I unbunch it slowly, holding it at arm's length. It's a navy hoodie with a tiny embroidered yellow jacket on the chest. A Georgia fucking Tech hoodie. But Garrett's tall and bulky, so it actually fits me. And Nora's right, it smells. but not badly. It just smells like Old Spice deodorant, which is how Garrett smells. And now I feel like some 1950s cheerleader wearing her boyfriend's leather jacket. Like I've been claimed. I try not to think about it. Instead, I weave through the backstage shit show behind Nora, who has somehow become badass take no prisoners Nora right before my eyes. This girl is normally such a little peanut, but wow. She's throwing down the stink eye and calling actors out, and people are actually starting to pull their shit together. Finally, Nora settles in at Cal's usual desk in the wings, securing her headset and flipping through his binder. I watch her for a moment, and then I wander over to the prop table, where literally everything is out of place. There are sunglasses and handcuffs and all kinds of things on the floor, so I scoop them up and set them on the table. 5 minutes, everyone, Ms. Albright calls, poking her head around the curtain. Simon appears beside me in the wings. Leah, why are you wearing a tech sweatshirt? It's Garrett's. His eyes get huge. Yeah, wow, not what you're thinking. Your sister's making me wear it. I'm so confused. Don't worry about it. I smile at him. Feeling any better? He shakes his head. Nope. Hey. He looks up. You're going to be amazing, okay? For a minute, he just looks at me, like he doesn't believe I just said that. God, am I that big of an asshole? He has to know I love him to pieces, right? But maybe I don't say it enough. I don't exactly walk around giving little earnest speeches about how deeply and sincerely I appreciate my friends. I'm not Abby. But I figured Simon knows how awesome I think he is. How could he not? I mean, I was half in love with that kid for most of middle school. True story. Those wolf t-shirts? Weirdly sexy. He blinks and adjusts his glasses, and then he breaks into one of those face-lighting Simon grins. I love you, Leah. Yeah. I love you too, Simon. He adds in a high voice. I love you too, Simon. I echo, rolling my eyes. Simeon, he corrects, and the overture starts to rise. Cal Price can't act for shit. Thankfully, he has the whole play memorized, but he plays the part of Reuben like a soft-spoken elderly accountant. And he's a terrible singer, just cringingly, comically bad. But he's so sweet and self-conscious out there, you just want to poke him in the face. He's the personification of a preschool dance recital. D- for talent, but A+ for adorableness. In any case, it's not the cast's best performance, but it's not a total mess. Taylor sounds amazing, and Simon's voice doesn't crack, and I'm not going to lie, Nick is hot as fuck in that dream coat. When it's over, I catch Simon by the edge of his robe and surprise him with a hug. You were perfect, I say, and he actually blushes. Then he takes both my hands and claps them together. For a minute, he just looks at me, smiling. You're a really awesome friend, he says finally. It's so soft and sincere that it catches me off guard. The actors trail back to the dressing rooms to change. They're not allowed to have lunch in their costumes. But Cal walks straight to Nora and she slides off her headset to hug him. And it's quite a hug. Full body, no space between them. Cal whispering something in her ear the whole time. I don't think they see me watching, but when he finally leaves for the dressing room, I lean my elbows on her desk. So, I grin. You and Cal? Shut up. That is so fucking cute. There's no that. Nothing's happening. Okay, but I just got a boner watching you hug, so. Leah! I'm just saying. She groans and buries her face in her arms, but she's smiling. Hey, I feel a soft kick on the heel of my shoe. I peek behind me and it's Bram. We're grabbing lunch off campus somewhere. Do y'all want to come? Nora shakes her head. I'm not supposed to leave. We have another performance in 45 minutes. Okay. Who's going? Just Garrett, Morgan, Anna, and me. Leah, you should go, Nora says. I don't want to ditch you guys. She smiles. You can ditch us. Cal's getting demoted back to stage manager. Aw, man. Who's playing Reuben? Ms. Albright. I bet she looks great in a beard. Bram just looks at us, smiling faintly. So you're coming? I guess so. I shrug and clasp my hands, feeling suddenly small in Garrett's hoodie. It's that girlfriend feeling again. Not that I've ever been anyone's girlfriend, but I imagine it feels like this. Like I'm this tiny, precious, wanted thing. I can't decide if I feel gross about that, or if I only think I should feel gross about it. By now, Simon and the rest of the cast are holed up in the dressing rooms, so I say goodbye to Nora and follow Bram out through the atrium. Anna's sitting on the ledge by the carpool circle, and Garrett's gesturing emphatically to Morgan. But he catches my eye and grins, and when Bram and I walk over, he tugs my sleeve. So, I see you're a tech fan. Fuck you. I grin back at him. And then it occurs to me that there's absolutely no reason for me to still be wearing Garrett Laughlin's hoodie. Guess you probably want this back. But you look so comfy, he says. His cheeks flush softly. Not comfy. He swallows. It looks nice on you. I narrow my eyes. It looks nice? Yes. I tug the sweatshirt over my head and bunch it up in my arms, handing it back to him. You're so full of shit, Garrett. He takes it and smiles at me, scrunching up his nose. And I have to admit, he's not terrible looking. He's got blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and a sprinkling of freckles on his nose. Just a few, not like me. I've got freckles all across my cheekbones. But it's cute and surprising and weirdly endearing. And now I'm thinking about the fact that Garrett plays piano. It's funny, his fingers don't look like piano fingers. They're long, but kind of meaty, and now they're wrapped around his sweatshirt like he's trying to choke it. What are you looking at? He says nervously. I look up. Nothing. I'm not. Bram clears his throat. Okay, so do we want to go to Rio Bravo? Fuck yes, says Garrett. But then he pauses, glancing at me. Is that where you want to go? Sure. Let's just go. Come on, I'll drive. Morgan links her arm through mine, and I link mine through Anna's. And I have to admit, I feel pretty lucky. I love Simon and Nick and all the other guys to pieces. But there's something about Morgan and Anna. They just get it. I'm not saying we agree on everything. Morgan likes dubbed anime, which is basically blasphemy, and Anna once described Chiba Mamoru as barely attractive. But other times, it's as if we read each other's minds. Like, if Taylor's being a diva at a rehearsal, we don't even have to look at each other. It's as if the secret cosmic eye roll passes among our three brains. One week in 7th grade, we tried to convince people we were sisters, even though Anna's half Chinese, Morgan's Jewish, and I'm basically the size of both of them combined. But what it really comes down to is that they always have my back. And vice versa. Like when Anna got the norovirus last year, Morgan and I reenacted the fight she missed in the lunchroom. In 7th grade, I drew 56 posters to help Morgan protest the school's racist Thanksgiving play. And when Simon and Nick disappear into boyfriend and girlfriend land, Morgan and Anna are there to be cynical assholes with me. I don't even care if they like Journey. They're the best squad in the world. Leah, where's your backpack? Morgan asks suddenly. In my locker? Do you need to go grab it? I look at her. Are we not coming back? Here's a confession. I've never actually skipped school. I mean, there was a week last year where I was pissed at Simon and Nick, and I might have spent a few class periods in the music room storage closet. But I've never left campus. Don't get me wrong, people do it all the time. But I'm sort of squeamish about the idea of getting in trouble. Partially because I don't want to jeopardize my scholarship. But also, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a giant nerd. Leah, it's fine, okay? Says Morgan. I've done this before. Even Bram has done this before. I glance back at Bram, and he smiles sheepishly. I mean, if I'm going to skip school, today's the day. My teachers will assume I'm missing 3rd and 4th period for the play. Come to think of it, I actually would be missing class for the play if Nora still needed me. If Cal hadn't been such an adorable disaster on stage. You okay? Morgan asks. I nod. Good. Let's roll. Morgan drives a shiny, fancy Jetta with seats that smell brand new. Her parents bought it for her 18th birthday, and had it equipped with GPS, satellite radio, and a little video screen that shows when you're about to hit something in reverse. Already there's a UGA cling sticker on the back windshield. I take shotgun, even though Garrett's 6'2", and I'm pretty sure that makes me an asshole. But he's totally unfazed. He sits in the middle of the back seat, leaning forward, a hand on each of the headrests. My hair is basically draped over his arm. Sometimes I think Garrett calculates the exact most awkward way to position his body in any given moment, and then he just goes for it. Okay, you just have to smile and wave at the security guard, he says. Act like you're allowed to leave. Garrett, seniors are allowed to leave. Wait, really? He looks amazed. Morgan inches toward the exit. She's always driven like a terrified alien dropped on a new planet. She moves so slowly she's practically rolling, and every traffic light and stop sign seem to surprise her. I turn up the music, a moody folk song I don't recognize. I think I like it. I think I really like it. It's somehow both sweet and wrenching, and the singer sings it like she means it. Who is this? I ask after a moment. Ahead, the light turns red, and Morgan crawls to a stop. Rebecca Loeb, my new fave. Considering yesterday's fave was Don't Stop Believin', I'd call this the biggest level up in the history of music. Morgan, you have officially redeemed yourself. We pull into Rio Bravo and pile out of the car, and I stand a little straighter when we step into the restaurant. Not that anyone cares, but I don't want to look like some high school kid skipping third period, even though that's totally 100% exactly what I am. The hostess leads us to a big booth in the back, and a waiter stops by right away to drop off tortilla chips and take our drink orders. Garrett leans toward me. Let me guess. Coke. Maybe. I smile. Bram and Anna exchange glances. She'll have a Coke, Garrett says. Excuse me, I can order for myself. I smile brightly at the waiter. I'll have a Coke, please. I don't mean it as a joke. Not at all, but everyone laughs, even Garrett. You're funny, Burke, he says. I blush and turn to Morgan. Hey, I was wondering, are you doing the campus tour and info session thing? Morgan grins. I was just going to ask you. So, Abby and I were discussing it, and we were thinking maybe all three of us could go together over spring break. Did she talk to you about it yet? So Abby's question. The thing she kind of wanted to ask me. I swallow. Pretty sure your parents will want to go to that, Morgan. I know, but I'll go twice. I don't care. You guys and Abby? Asks Anna. Since when are you friends with Abby? Morgan looks confused. We've always been friends with Abby. Yeah, but not like that. Not like spring break road trip besties. Anna says, pursing her lips. I shift slightly in my seat. Anna gets weird when we talk about college, and I never know what to say. On one hand, I get it. She's the odd woman out. But on the other hand, I don't even think she ended up applying to Georgia. She's been obsessed with Duke since sophomore year. Anna Banana, we're not replacing you, I say. She wrinkles her nose. You just had to pick the girl with a 4-letter A name. Yeah, but she's not you. Morgan hugs her around the shoulders. And it's true. Abby could never be in her circle. Maybe once upon a time I thought she could be. Here's the thing. Right after Abby moved here, she and I hung out a lot. Like, a lot. To the point where my mom started getting twinkly-eyed and asking lots of questions. And obviously it wasn't like that. For one thing, Abby's embarrassingly hetero. She's the type who'd watch all of Sailor Moon and come away thinking Haruka and Michiru were just good friends. She probably thinks Troye Sivan's songs are about girls. Not that I need to be thinking about Abby right now. I stare at the chip bowl. So, what are we doing after this? Well, I have a project, says Bram. What kind of project? Bram blushes, mouth quirking upward. I'm kind of working on a promposal. 90 minutes later, Morgan, Anna, and Garrett are watching anime in Morgan's living room, and I'm eating microwave s'mores at the kitchen table with Bram. So you inspired me, he says. Me? He nods toward my phone. With the picture you showed me. Are you doing a Morgan's bat mitzvah-themed promposal? Because that would be epic. Good guess. He grins. But no. I mean, I don't know. I think I need to pick your brain for a minute. About what? I need all your embarrassing Simon stories. He takes a bite of s'more and smiles. There's a tiny blob of marshmallow stuck to his lip. You realize this could take all day, right? I say. He laughs. I'm here for it. Also, totally unrelated, but I have to know. Did baby Bram call graham crackers Bram crackers? He smiles. Maybe. Definitely. That's amazing. I'm making another. You want one? He stands. Obviously. I tuck my chin into my hand. Okay, so Simon. There's this tug in my chest. Because when Bram says Simon's name, he pronounces every part of it. Like it's worth being careful over. It's really sweet and everything, but wow. I get so jealous sometimes. It's obviously not just Simon and Bram, it's couples in general. And it's not about the kissing stuff. It's just, imagine being Simon. Imagine going about your day knowing someone's carrying you in their mind. That has to be the best part of being in love. The feeling of having a home in someone else's brain. I push away the thought. All right, so I assume you've seen the jean shorts picture? The one on their mantle? He grins back at me from across the kitchen. Yep. Okay, what about when he puked in the wax hand? He actually told me that himself. Yeah, he's probably proud of that one. I bite my lip. Huh. Like, it really shouldn't be this hard to think of embarrassing Simon stories. You would think, Bram says. The microwave beeps and I watch for a minute as he carefully presses the s'mores together. Only Bram could wrangle a giant puffed-up marshmallow so neatly. He carries the s'mores back to the table and slides the plate in front of me. And I'm just about to grab one, but I'm suddenly inspired. Wait, do you know about his thing with Love Actually? I know his parents make him watch it every Christmas and he hates it. Yeah, he doesn't hate it. I take a giant bite of s'more, peeking up at him with my whitest, most innocent eyes. Bram grins. It sounds like there's a story here. Oh, there's a story. Simon wrote the story. Bram opens his mouth to reply, but then Garrett pops his head up over the back of the couch. Hey, Burke. Question. So, I'm trying to figure out the plan for tomorrow. Tomorrow? The play, calls Morgan from the armchair. Oh, I knew that. Are you going? Garrett asks. I was planning on it. Bram and Garrett glance at each other quickly, whatever that means. Want to come with us? Bram asks. We want to get there early and get good seats. In other words, Greenfeld wants an unobstructed view of his boyfriend's ass. Bram shakes his head, smiling. Maybe we can grab dinner or something beforehand, Garrett adds. I guess so. You guess so? Leah. Garrett shakes his head. I force a giant, cheesy smile. Oh my God, I can't wait. Better, he says, sinking back into the couch. But all night at home, I'm not thinking about the play. I collapse onto the couch with a Coke, feeling edgy and restless. My mind keeps drifting back to what Morgan said at Rio Bravo. Abby wants to tour UGA with us. It's not like it's totally out of left field. We're technically friends, but probably 100 people from our grade applied to Georgia, and Abby's friends with all of them. She's friends with everyone. So it's a little bit surprising that she'd want to go with us. My phone buzzes on the table, and my heart just swoops. But it's Garrett. Hey, I'm glad you're coming to the play tomorrow. Should be really fun. I curl back onto the couch, staring at it. Garrett does this sometimes. He sends me these texts out of nowhere with no real opening for a conversation. Just a statement. And I never know how to respond. To be honest, I get this vibe sometimes that Garrett likes me. I mean, I'm probably imagining it, and Garrett's probably just really awkward, but sometimes I wonder. Me too, I start to type, but it reads a little too much like, OMG, Garrett, I love you, please kiss me. So I delete it, and then stare at my phone, and then retype it without the exclamation point, and then delete it again, until I finally give up and turn on Fruits Basket. This is what a mess I am. I can't write a 2-word text without losing my shit. And I'm not even particularly attracted to this boy. If I were, I'd be dead. R.I.P. Leah Burke. She died of acute awkwardosis. I need a distraction. God knows TV isn't enough. I pull up some random fanfic on my phone, and then I take it down the hall. I can't read Dreary in the living room, even when my mom's not home. Dreary belongs in my bedroom. I don't care if that sounds dirty. But I can't focus. It isn't the fics' fault. It's well written, and Draco has some bite to him, which is refreshing. I hate when writers make Draco sweet. Sorry, but Draco's a bitch. Own it. I mean, yeah, he's a ball of mush underneath, but you have to earn it with him. I guess that speaks to me somehow. But the distraction's not working, so I shut it down. I stick my phone into its charger and then wiggle it around for a minute to trick it into actually charging. My phone's a piece of shit. I crank up Spotify and log onto my art Tumblr, scrolling through my archives. I should upload something new, or even one of my more decent older pieces. I have a whole bunch I photographed and saved on my phone. All my ships, straight up kissing, Inej and Nina, Persebeth, a few original characters, plus a few random portraits of my friends. Not that I ever plan on showing those to anyone. I did that once. Huge fucking mistake. I scroll quickly past them, landing instead on a pencil sketch of Bellatrix Lestrange. It's not the most polished thing I've drawn, but I sort of love her facial expression. And I don't mind it being a little sloppy, since my Tumblr page is anonymous. If people think I'm a shitty artist, so be it. At least they don't know I'm me. 5. Morgan's not at school on Friday, and she's not replying to my texts. That's sort of weird, right? I say to Anna at lunch. We're the first two at the table. Is something up with her? With Morgan? She bites her lip. I have the distinct impression that she's avoiding my eyes. What, is she mad at me or something? No, it's not that, Anna pauses. I think she's processing things. What are you talking about? She looks up at me, finally. She didn't tell you? She's not returning my texts, so... Yeah. Anna leans back in her chair. Well, she heard from Georgia last night. The school? Anna nods, and something in her expression makes my heart sink. She didn't get in. I say quietly. Nope. Was she waitlisted? No. You're kidding me. Anna shakes her head. But she's a legacy. I know. She must be devastated. I blink. How could she not get in? I don't know. It's messed up. Anna sighs and tugs the ends of her hair. Maybe her SAT scores? I know she retook it a few times. I feel so awful. I think she's in shock, and her parents just lost it. Like, they're calling the school, withdrawing their donations. I don't even know. Jesus. I'm going over there after school, Anna says. I nod. I'll go with you. Yeah. She pauses. I don't know if that's... She doesn't want to see me? Anna doesn't respond. I flush. Did she say that? She shrugs. I don't know. I'm so sorry, Leah. Ugh, this is so awkward. Whatever, it's fine. I stand abruptly. I'm gonna eat in the courtyard. She's just upset right now. You can't take this personally. Okay, I hate when people say that. You can't take this personally. It's not personal, Leah. Morgan's skipping school to avoid me, but it's totally not personal. God. I know I should be sympathetic, and I know I'm a jerk, but it just hurts. Leah, it's not about you. She's just disappointed, Anna says. And probably embarrassed. I know that. It comes out louder than I mean it to, and a couple of freshmen turn to stare at us. I lower my voice. I know it's not about me. Well, good. It's not. I just want to be there for her, you know? I want to make it better. Anna leans forward. Yeah, I just don't think you can make it better. You know? It's obviously not your fault that you got in and she didn't. And she knows that, but it's still going to feel like you're rubbing it in her face. I'm not going to rub it in her face. I know you're not, Anna says slowly. Not intentionally. But don't you see how it would feel like that? My cheeks burn. It's fine. I'll give her space. Anna taps her toe against mine. I know you're worried about her. I'll make sure she's okay. I shrug. Do whatever you want. So, now everything's off kilter. I feel heartless not texting Morgan, though Anna made it pretty clear that I shouldn't. But all through class, I can't stop picturing Morgan holed up in her house, surrounded by pictures of bulldogs. Red and black everywhere. She must be losing her mind. I think I know how she's feeling. I mean, I've never been rejected from a school, but I know what it's like to not be good enough in some bone-deep, fundamental way. Not that I'm making this about me. For example, I haven't given a shred of attention to the upcoming campus tour, and whether Abby might still want to go with me. Leah, Simon hisses, poking me. I snap back to earth. Ms. Livingstone is giving me a look. I assume you're deep in thought about the French Revolution, Ms. Burke. Care to weigh in? My cheeks burn. Yes, oh God. Ms. Livingstone can smell the bullshit. Why, yes, I'd like to weigh in about the French Revolution. Not about road tripping to Athens with Abby Suso. Not that I'm considering road tripping to Athens with Abby Suso. Thomas Jefferson helped the Marquis de Lafayette draft a declaration. Simon blurts. Mr. Spear, memorizing the Hamilton soundtrack is not going to save you on the AP Euro exam. A bunch of people snicker. Ms. Livingstone shakes her head and calls on someone else. So I kick Simon's foot, and when he looks up, I smile. Thanks. No prob, he smiles back. 6. So, let's talk Love Actually, Bram says, leaning toward me. Garrett's finally out of earshot, scoping out the dessert counter, which is actually the only counter because we're at Henry's, and Henry's is a bakery. Sorry, but cupcakes are a dinner food. Fight me. I glance back to make sure Garrett's fully absorbed in pastries and iced donuts before turning back to Bram. Okay, so Simon may kill me for telling you this. Of course, he's very secretive, Bram says, and we grin at each other. Simon Spear may be the least secretive person on the planet. Anyway, I didn't know about this until last year, but apparently... I paused to bite into my cupcake. Apparently, our very own Simon Spear has written a single work of Love Actually fanfiction. Bram's eyes light up. Okay. And I have reason to believe it's on fanfiction.net. Are you serious? He presses his fist to his mouth. But he won't tell us his pen name. I bet we can figure it out. Bram's already pulling his phone out. Fanfiction.org? .net. Okay. He's quiet for a moment, scrolling. I think there are like 100 stories in the whole fandom. Abby and I were able to narrow it down to 15 possibilities. Oh, so you've already been working on this. I tried for weeks, Bram. Weeks. Junior year, right after Abby moved here. We were all spending the night at Morgan's, and her mom had exiled the boys to the guest room after an illuminating game of Truth or Dare. Morgan and Anna fell asleep pretty quickly, but Abby scooted all her blankets next to mine on the floor, on our stomachs, side by side. Leah, we have to find it, she whispered. She was still a little tipsy from Truth or Dare, and I was somehow tipsy by association. I had the full list of Love Actually stories pulled up on my phone. Do we start at the top? Or we could start with the Keira Knightley self-insert sex erotica, said Abby. I giggled. Sex erotica? Yes. As opposed to sex-free erotica? I mean, I'd read that too, she said. Okay, this one. And so we started. Right away we could rule out a few grammatical shitstorms, along with anything that seemed too technically knowledgeable about sex. There's no way, I'd insisted. I guarantee you, I would literally bet you $1 million that Simon Spear has never heard of the perineum. I concur, Abby said, tapping the back arrow. I've always thought that was such an intimate thing to do, touching the screen of another person's phone. She opened the next story. It was weird. Once we knew Simon had written one of them, it started to feel like he could have written any of them. Or all of them, under 90 different pen names. Maybe all those times he said he was checking his email, he was actually writing sex erotica. Then she shifted slightly under her blankets, and her whole body pressed against mine. my right side to her left, and I forgot how to speak. It's this one, Bram says, jolting me back to the present. He slides his phone toward me on the table. No, you did not just find Simon Spears' secret fan fiction in 5 minutes. I did, he smiles. I'm 100% sure. I read it aloud. All I Want for Christmas Is You, by You Won't But You Might. How do you know this is him? Well, first of all, the pen name. I don't get it. Bram leans forward on his elbows. You won't, but you might. It's an Elliott Smith lyric. That's the first giveaway. I tilt Bram's phone closer, reading the summary. Sam/Joaquin, semi-original character. Okay. Read the rest of the summary. Original male character based closely on Joanna. Just a fluffy male/male retelling of the school concert scene. Smiley face. I look up at Bram, grinning. Oh my god. Simon was such a sweet baby gay, writing the gayest fanfiction. I love it. Bram smiles. It's perfect. How did Abby and I miss this? Did you even know he was gay back then? No. Okay, wow. That was even before the whole Martin thing. I guess we weren't looking for the gayest fic in the bunch. This isn't even the gayest, Bram says. Ladies and gentle dudes, I'm back, Garrett announces, and we both look up with a start. Garrett slides into his seat, setting a cardboard cake box on the table in front of us. Check it out. Bram nudges the box open, revealing an extravagantly decorated buttercream cake with polka dots and rosette flowers, and a message, carefully piped onto the center. Eisner Spear. You bought Simon and Nick a cake, Bram asks slowly. Fuck yeah, I love those dudes. Well done, Garrett, I say. Thank you, Burke, I appreciate that. So, no congratulations or anything? Just like, their names. Yeah, but look at the R, Garrett says, glancing back and forth between Bram and me. That's badass, right? Totally my idea. It's very badass, I assure him. Bram just raises his eyebrows and smiles. Add this to the list of things I'm never doing again. Sitting in the front row of a play. Eye contact. So much eye contact. Simon once said that when the stage lights are on, the audience looks like a giant dark blob. But maybe the front row is the exception. Because I swear Taylor just spent 45 minutes gazing directly into my face. But the show was amazing, even with Martin Addison back in commission. Or maybe it's because Martin was back in commission, as much as it kills me to admit that. I hate when assholes have talent. I want to live in a world where good people rule at everything and shitty people suck at everything. In short, I want Martin Addison's voice to crack like an earthquake. After curtain call, we linger in the lobby, waiting for the actors to come out. Garrett sidles up to me, holding the cake box, his blonde hair winging out from under a baseball cap. So, Eisner can really sing, huh? I feel strangely shy. Yeah. There are hordes of parents out here, holding flowers. I spot Simon's family near the dramaturgy display, doubled up on bouquets. Alice is here? I say to Bram. He nods. It's her spring break. Alice Spear is exactly who I want to be when I'm in college. She is nerd-cute perfection, effortlessly smart, hipster glasses, and zero tolerance for Simon and Nora's bullshit. I may have had a low-key crush on her in 6th grade, until I fell hard for her adorable, dumbass little brother. So, Burke. Garrett nudges me. I'm guessing you need a ride home? Oh, I guess. Cool, he nods. I've got you covered. I feel awkward all of a sudden, heavy-limbed and tongue-tied. Thanks, I manage. Yesterday it was Garrett's sweatshirt. Today he's giving me a ride home. It's like the universe is trying to make him my boyfriend, which is messed up. Even if a tiny weird part of me wonders what it would be like to kiss him. It probably wouldn't be awful. Technically, he's cute. He has very blue eyes. And everyone thinks athletes are hot. Is Garrett hot? He could be. Though the idea of objective hotness fucks me up a little. The idea that certain arrangements of facial features are automatically superior. It's like someone woke up one day with a boner for big-eyed, soft-lipped, tight-bodied, cheekbone people, and we all just decided to go along with that. The doors to the back hallway swing open, and the cast and crew start to trickle into the lobby. But Garrett rests his hand on my arm. Okay, what does the average University of Georgia student get on the SAT? Garrett asks. I don't know. Drool. Haha. He pokes my arm. You're smiling. I snort and look away, my eyes drifting toward the Spears. Nick's parents are there too. Abby's mom is chatting with them while her dad and brother check their phones. And even though I've never met Abby's dad, there's no question. He's a middle-aged male version of Abby, eyelashes and all, which is super disorienting. I turn quickly away and my eyes fall on Mom. Mom, as in my mom, dressed in work clothes and looking slightly out of place. I had no idea she was coming. I guess she snuck in through the back. She's standing a few feet away from the other adults. To be honest, she's always been weird around my friends' parents. Maybe because she's the youngest by over a decade. I think she's paranoid that they secretly disapprove of her. She shoots me an awkward wave, and I start walking toward her, but I'm intercepted by Alice Spear. Leah, I love your boots. I look down and shrug, smiling. How long are you in town? I ask. Not much longer. I'm actually driving up, so I'm leaving tomorrow and picking up my boyfriend in New Jersey. She checks her watch. Okay, Simon, where are you? He just texted me. They're coming out now, Bram says. Moments later, Simon, Nick, and Abby slip in through the side door, out of costume but still in makeup. For once, Nick and Abby aren't holding hands. Actually, Abby's holding Simon's hand, with Nick trailing behind them. People keep stopping him to talk, and every single time he looks sheepish and uncomfortable. Nick Eisner is truly an awkward cinnamon roll of a leading man. Simon spots the cake box immediately. Is this cake? You got me a cake? Garrett nods and starts to pop the box open, but Simon's beaming too hard at Bram to notice. Actually, Bram starts to say, but Simon kisses him on the cheek before he can get the word out. Dude, it's from me. Where's my kiss? Garrett says. I look at him. Wow. Okay, Burke. He grins and digs for his keys. You ready to roll? I point out my mom, and Garrett's entire face falls. I guess you don't need a ride anymore. I guess not. He lingers, holding his car keys, and he doesn't say a word for what feels like an hour. I sense my mom watching us with interest. So, I say finally. Right. Hey, he clears his throat. So, I was wondering, do you want to come to the game tomorrow? The game? I glance at him. Have you ever seen us play? I nod. It's funny, soccer's the one Creekwood sport I've actually watched. I even used to enjoy it back in sophomore year when I had a crush on Nick. And it wasn't just about staring at his ass. It was weird. I started caring about the game, to the point that Simon used to call me an undercover jock. It's against North Creek, Garrett adds. It should be a pretty sweet game. Oh, I glance back over my shoulder. I really don't want to talk to Garrett in front of my mom right now. He's still talking. I'm sure you're busy, though. That's totally cool. You're probably going to the Saturday matinee of the play, right? Seriously, no worries. No, I'll come, I say quickly. He looks startled. To the game? Yeah. Oh, okay, sweet. He grins and my stomach twists weakly. So, what was that about? Mom asks, voice lilting as we walk to the car. Even in the darkness, I can see that she's smiling. Nothing. Nothing? Are we sure? Mom, stop. I sink into the passenger seat, turning quickly toward the window. For a moment, we're both quiet. The parking lot is clogged with traffic and pedestrians, and Mom drums her hands on the steering wheel. That was such an awesome play. I grin. It was the Blizz. I still can't believe Nick's voice. And you know who's adorable? Who? Abby Suso. I almost choke. That girl is pure charisma, Mom barrels on. And she just seems like a total sweetheart. Like, I'd honestly love to see you with someone like her. Mom, you don't think she's cute? She's Nick's girlfriend. I know that. I'm just saying, hypothetically. I'm not talking about this. Mom raises her eyebrows. Oh, hey. Her tone is suddenly cautious. Question for you. Okay. So, Wells's birthday is tomorrow? Is that the question? No. Mom laughs. Okay. So, I was thinking the three of us could grab brunch together. He has a golf thing in the afternoon, so maybe late morning. I gape at her. Birthday brunch. With Mom's boyfriend. I don't know, maybe this is normal for some families, but Mom never makes me get brunch with the boyfriends. And yet, here she is, just casually presenting it as if it's just another fun family Saturday. With Wells, of all people. I'm going to Bram and Garrett's soccer game, so... I shrug. Sorry. I stare out the window, eyes tracing the curve of the sidewalk. There's hardly anyone on the road tonight. You wouldn't think that would make a car feel smaller, but it does. And even though we aren't looking at each other, I feel Mom's eyes on me. I wish you'd give him a shot. Who, Garrett? I ask, my voice jumping half an octave. Wells. My face burns. Oh. I glance at Mom, who's sitting rigidly straight, chewing on her lip. She looks vaguely distraught. I don't entirely know what to make of it. She sighs. Okay, what if I'm not getting brunch with your boyfriend? Leah, don't be like this. Don't be like what? I narrow my eyes. How are we at the family brunch stage? You've been dating him for, what, 3 months? 6 months. Okay, you've literally been dating him for a shorter time than Simon and Bram. I know people who had longer relationships than that in middle school. Simon and Anna dated longer than that. Mom shakes her head slowly. You know, you'd never talk to one of your friends the way you talk to me. Can you imagine if you went up to Simon and said stuff like this about Bram? Okay, you wouldn't. You would never do that. So why do you think it's okay to talk like that to me? I roll my eyes so hard my eyebrows hurt. Oh, okay, now you're going to make this about Simon and Bram? You're the one who brought them up. Yeah, well, I throw my hands up. Simon and Bram are actually legit. They're literally so in love. How could you even compare that to Wells? You know what? Just stop talking, she snaps. For a minute, it throws me. My mom's normally so mellow. I sputter. Yeah, well, no. Just stop, okay? I don't want to hear it. For a minute, it's silent. Then Mom turns on NPR and pulls onto Roswell Road. I lean back against the headrest and tilt my head toward the window. Then I squeeze my eyes shut.